Panopticism is a philosophy developed by a French philosopher named Michel Foucault. He developed this philosophy in 1975 in his work, Discipline and Punish. He explored the evolution of power and the dynamic of it and how it's changed from physical authority to psychological authority. Foucault uses this as his theory of modern power, that surveillance is used as a key instrument in modern institutions to govern and control the masses. Surveillance has caused people to stifle their individuality because they're under awareness of being surveyed all the time. So people start to think, act, and become the same rather than being individual. And Foucault called this dynamic normalization. To expand on his point, I want to look at dynamic normalization and panopticism, how it applies to today and how it applies to me and my lens and my experience as a Black athlete through the concept of media training. In my opinion, media and or social media is a form of a panopticon. It's a watchtower. You know, this is where my experience as an athlete, you know, growing up stood out. Athletes are taught to act and engage in a certain way through media training, and there's a societal pushback or a risk of loss of endorsement, if not. Ever since I was about in the 7th grade, at every youth camp that I've ever been to, we've had media training protocols. And in those protocols, we will have examples of who we were supposed to imitate. And often those examples were quote unquote safe. They were never controversial, outspoken, political, whatsoever. And the athletes we remember and admire the most were the exact opposite of that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. Why weren't they ever the examples for us through this media training protocols? Foucault explains this. This is what he refers to as the dynamic normalization. Everybody is taught to be the same. When I hear media training, I hear conformity in a sense. I hear cultural hegemony. I hear dynamic normalization. I think it's extremely important to be thoughtful and use your platform in a way that you can, you know, make a change in your community. I think that being an athlete is not about the lifestyle, the cars or the clothes, etc. I think more athletes should leverage their celebrity to be involved in the community of their choice. Sport, art, culture are some of the most influential podiums on the planet. Just because you reach success in those endeavors doesn't mean the trade-off should be less cultural. The trade-off should be I have to cut my hair, change my voice, or be less of who I am. These panopticons exist in everyday life, in education, in politics, in media, social media, in sport. So many things have been institutionalized to strip the essence and the fabric of who people are, especially people of color. Dating back in education and in modern society, dating back to when they used to send indigenous people and natives to conversion schools to remove culture, to strip, to take away their religion, to cut their hair, and to redirect their youth. And this is an old version of panopticons that existed, and the foundation still remains.